When I met Ethan, I wasn't looking for anything serious. I had just gotten out of a 2-year relationship and swore I'd take a break from men. But there he was, tall, charming, and totally unexpected. We met at a friend's dinner party in Brooklyn, and from the moment he started talking about books and travel, I was hooked. We talked for hours, and I remember thinking, this feels too easy. But I let myself fall anyway. By our third date, we were inseparable. He wasn't just romantic, he listened, remembered tiny details, and made me laugh when I needed it most. A month into dating, I noticed something odd. He never posted me on social media, not once. I didn't mind at first, I'm not one to broadcast my life either. But then I realized he never let me take pictures of us. Every time I tried, he'd joke and say, "Let's just keep this between us." It sounded romantic, like some secret bubble we shared, but part of me was unsettled. When I brought it up, he kissed my forehead and said, "Some things are more special when the world doesn't interfere." I believed him, but I couldn't shake the feeling. I saw her name pop up on his phone one evening while we were watching a movie. Callie Red Heart with a heart. I froze. He didn't notice me looking, but my stomach flipped. He got up to take the call in the other room. I sat there, heartbeat racing, trying to convince myself it was his sister or a coworker. But deep down, I knew. When he returned, I asked casually, "Who's Callie?" He paused, just for a second, then smiled, "An old friend. She always calls at the worst times." He was lying. I knew it. But I pretended I didn't. A few weeks later, he invited me on a weekend trip to Vermont. It was supposed to be this cozy, romantic getaway, our first time traveling together. Everything was picture perfect. The snowy cabin, the wine by the fireplace, the long walks through frosted woods. But I couldn't stop thinking about that call. At night, while he slept, I checked his phone. I know, awful. But I had to know. And what I found shattered me. Dozens of messages from Callie. Sweet ones. Angry ones. Flirty ones. Some of them were recent. He wasn't just keeping a secret, he was living a double life. You'd think I left right then and there. But I didn't. I confronted him the next morning, expecting either denial or rage. Instead, he broke down. He admitted he had history with Callie, they dated for years. He said she wasn't over him and kept messaging him, but he wasn't interested anymore. "You're my future," he whispered, holding my hands. "She's my past." I wanted to believe him so badly. I told him he needed to block her, delete her number, something. He promised he would. And for a while, I thought maybe that was the end of it. I was wrong. One rainy afternoon, I stopped by a cafe near Ethan's office to surprise him with coffee. As I walked in, I saw him, sitting at a table by the window. He wasn't alone. A woman with long auburn hair sat across from him, her hand gently touching his. I stood there, frozen. It was her. I didn't need a photo to know. I left before he could see me. I didn't say anything that night. I didn't cry, either. I just lay in bed next to him, wondering how long I'd been the other woman without realizing it. Or if we both were. 2 days later, I received a message on Instagram. It was from Callie. I stared at her profile for a full minute before opening it. She wrote, "I think it's time we talked." Woman to woman. My heart dropped. I had so many emotions, anger, fear, even curiosity. Against my better judgment, I replied. We met that evening at a small park near the river. She didn't look angry. She looked tired. And what she told me changed everything. They weren't just exes. They never broke up. She thought I was the one who came between them. And maybe I had. Ethan's birthday was coming up. I had already planned a surprise dinner with his closest friends, booked a private room, and even arranged a slideshow of memories. But now I wasn't sure whether I should go through with it. Still, I did. That night, I stood there smiling, pretending everything was fine. Callie was nowhere in sight, but I noticed Ethan kept checking his phone. When I asked if he was okay, he brushed it off. But I knew. I knew he was waiting for her. Later, when everyone else had left, he hugged me and whispered, "You really love me, don't you?" I didn't answer. One evening, I came home early from work. Ethan wasn't expecting me. His car was in the driveway. The lights were on. And someone was laughing inside. A woman's laugh. I stood outside the door for a full minute, listening. I didn't cry. I didn't knock. I just walked in. The living room fell silent. Callie was sitting on the couch. She didn't look surprised to see me. Neither did he. That was the moment I realized they never stopped seeing each other. They just got better at hiding it. And I had become a prop in a very long, cruel play. The days that followed were blurry. Silent dinners. Cold shoulders. Avoided eye contact. I didn't move out. He didn't ask me to. But the air was thick with tension. One night, I sat him down and asked the question I'd been avoiding for months: "Who do you want to be with?" He looked at me, eyes tired, voice low. "I don't know." That was the worst answer he could have given. Not Callie. Not me. Just, "I don't know." That's when I realized that maybe love isn't always about choosing someone. Sometimes, it's about choosing yourself. To be continued. I packed a bag. Not everything, just enough for a few days. My best friend, Jenna, let me crash in her spare room. I didn't tell Ethan I was leaving. I just left a note: "I need time to think." For the first time in months, I woke up without that heavy knot in my stomach. But then came the guilt. Had I overreacted? Was walking away too dramatic? He texted me 5 times that day. I didn't respond. On the third night, I opened a voice memo he sent. His voice cracked. "I love you. I'm sorry." I played it again. And again. I went back, not to move in, just to talk. The place felt unfamiliar, like someone else's home. While Ethan was out getting groceries, I sat on the edge of the bed, looking around. That's when I noticed the shoebox in the back of the closet. I knew I shouldn't open it. But I did. Inside were printed photos of him and Callie. Trips. Birthdays. Even one of them holding a "We're expecting" sign. My hands trembled. I didn't know they'd been that serious. I put everything back exactly how I found it. When he came home, I smiled like nothing happened. I told Jenna about the photos. She didn't hold back. "You're not his therapist. You're not his fixer. You're just the one he doesn't want to lose yet." Her words stung because they were true. I'd spent so long trying to be the understanding one. The strong one. But at what cost? She asked me something that stuck with me for days: "If you met him today, knowing everything you know now, would you still choose him?" I didn't answer. That night, I lay in bed beside Ethan, watching him sleep. And silently asked myself, why am I still here? A few days later, I ran into Callie again. Total accident, at a bookstore, of all places. I didn't want to talk. But she walked right up to me. "He told me you moved out," she said flatly. I blinked. "I did. Sort of." She crossed her arms. "He told me he was done with you." We both stood there, realizing something horrible at the same time. He was playing both sides. Still. Even after everything. I left without saying another word. Later that night, I sat across from Ethan at dinner. I didn't touch my food. I was done pretending. Ethan knew something had changed. He kept asking, "What's wrong?" I just shook my head. But when he reached for my hand, I pulled away. That was when he finally said it. "I'm sorry." I never stopped talking to her. I thought I could handle both until I figured it out. Handle both. Like we were options on a menu. "I did love you," he added. Past tense. I didn't cry. Not in front of him. I just nodded, got up, and walked to the door. He called after me, but I didn't look back. Because this time I meant it.